So, another update from Imperium Academy program made by Charlie Morgan. I am in the middle of the second week of 6 weeks of this program, so I have a long way to go yet, but still I made major progress, I think, recently in terms of my mindset, and I see that my mindset is changing every day. Like, I am much more prone to take risks now. I am less scared of taking risks, let's say. So, like, before I was aware that something is out of my comfort zone, but I wasn't crossing the boundary. But now I'm like slowly, like taking slow little steps that are taking me out of my comfort zone in like so small steps that I can do that and not go back into my shell. So this is it. And right now I'm working on finding out my personality. I think this is very popular concept, and some of the tests that are available on the internet are very scammy and not accurate. But I trust those sources, so I did like the standard 3 tests. I think they are very popular. One is Big Five. This is like test of personality based on agreeableness, extraversion, conscientiousness, openness, and neuroticism. And I will tell you in a second what is my score. But then I did a test, like very popular test, Myers-Briggs, I think it's called. And you have like these INTJs, like MNTJs, all of these ENTJs, all of these like 16 personality types, it's called, I think, yeah, like 16 personalities. So I did that. And then I did the third test, which was new to me. I didn't knew about it before. So it was a test called DISC, so DISC, and it was basically the same but in a different way. You know, all of these tests are basically the same, but they are measuring, they are called in a different way, and they are checking a different dimension of your personality. But I did some of them before, and I am not surprised of my scores. So, for example, I am in like 16 personality types test. I am INTJ, so an architect it's called. And this personality type is predominantly focused on details, like working in like structured type of work, you know, not messing around, let's say. And in those tests, it's also described as a person who doesn't like necessarily people, or is like they don't tolerate people sometimes. But I don't agree with this. Like, this is not me at all. Like, I am not like this, even though I would say I am more introverted than extroverted. Then I think, even though I'm like changing right now, and I can control that, because like when I did this test for the first time, like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, out of curiosity, I got like 80% introverted, 20% extroverted, and in that moment it was true. I was very much introverted. But I did the test yesterday, and actually it's from Big Five, and I got 60% extroversion. So I am more extroverted than introverted, and this is like mind-blowing for me, because for my whole life I was very much introverted. And so I changed that, and this is such a sick concept, and I can actually see that, you know, in my life. I am now in the middle, and I can, like, sometimes I am more introverted, especially in like bigger settings, so on a party, and like some, I don't know, if I would go on a business meeting or anything like that, you know, then I am much more introverted. But then, like, I am not yet, like, I am not scared of, like, I would say, going out there to ask a person about something, or like these like smaller tasks. Like, I can do them, or like speak to some random people on the street. Like, I'm not scared of this anymore. and this is great. It's actually progress in my opinion. Like being extroverted is kind of more useful, I would say. And then I can switch sometimes to the introverted state, because then some extroverts cannot work alone and they need people. And when they need people, they are not productive and they are like coping, they procrastinate, and I can do both now. And this is such a, like, I can flow, I can change based on what I want. This is such a great idea. And yeah, so in Big Five scores, I got 71 in agreeableness, 60 in extraversion, 85 in conscientiousness, 68 in openness, and 29 in neuroticism. And the biggest score that I had is conscientiousness, so like being structured, type of routine loving, order loving person. And I was like that for my whole life. Before, like I did this test before, I was even more conscientious. Recently I changed it because being on the extreme isn't the best, because then you are very much rigid in your thinking. And I changed that recently, but I am very much structured. So for example, I planned the time that I will record today, and I am doing this in a structured way. I have like everything planned, and then after I will record this, I will post this, then I will watch a business course, then I will do this, my whole day is planned. And from my experience, not every person is doing that. So this is it. And in terms of openness, from what I've read, this is about like being open to new ideas, not necessarily to people, like to people also, like being open to new ideas basically. So you wanna try new things, you want to like meet new people, you are just open basically. And I wasn't that open before, so I was much more I was much more inside my own world, inner world, I would say. And I wasn't open to new experiences, and I changed that recently, in like a few years, 2 years, let's say. And I can see the change, like I can see the change in my character and my personality, and it is very much, it gives me hope for the future. So then I did the tests. So the third test is disc test, and I got a score like SC. So like S is basically being like a calm person, rather like not dominant, and like this is the most of the population. So I am an average in that dimension. Then I got C, which is, I don't really understand it, so I need to read more about it. I will not going to tell you. But then right now I am working on like inverting them, so I got certain scores, but the goal isn't to accept them as they are, and it's just, okay, I am conscientious, okay, it's just, you need to be non-binary in that. This is the goal. So I need to know how I work, what I am doing and stuff. And now I need to like adapt to the situation when it's required. So when I am 60% extroverted and the situation requires me to be introverted, then I need to be on the introverted side. But if it requires me to be more extroverted, then I need to be on the extroverted side. So you cannot have blindfolds and you just believe that, okay, now I am introverted and I cannot do this, because I'm introverted. I cannot do a cold email or like cold call or whatever because I'm introverted. I believed that, like even like 2 weeks ago, that I cannot cold call anyone, but I did recently, and I will today actually. So like I can do that, apparently, and I am introverted. I can do that, like. So like, there is no boundaries really. Like this is such a mind-blowing concept. This is such a like positive thing now, like I can change, you know. I don't give a fuck about my brain. My brain is yapping, you know, yapping shit, you know, like, oh, you cannot do this, oh, you are introverted, oh, you cannot speak to this person, you cannot DM this person. Like, shut up, I can. And I did, you know, like, fuck my brain. My brain is retarded, you know. I operate from like trauma and shit, and like, not anymore. Like, okay, no, I am operating, but still I can change it, you know. Like, you know, like this is such a positive thing. Like, like I wake up and I am happy because I can, like, I am doing real progress now. This feels like such a great journey, and I'm just grateful for that. So yeah, that's the progress. I am a happy person now. So yeah, that's that. Adios.